Hello everyone. Today, I want to retell the movie Perfect Mothers, a film about two friends and their sons who fall in love with each other's mothers. Rose and Lil are childhood friends. They have been together almost all their lives, and when they had sons, they also turned out to be friendly. The four of them spend time on the beach. Sons are surfing, and their mothers are lying on the sand. Rose and Lil discuss their sons, talking about how quickly they grew up and how handsome they ended up being. The four of them have dinner that evening and their mothers talk about their childhood. At the very end of the evening, Harold arrives. He is Rose's husband. And he says that he was offered a new position in Sydney and wants him and his son to go with him. She refuses. And he does not want to go with his son after him. As a result, he leaves alone, and Tom and his mother are left alone. Then the four of them drink a little and have fun. Tom had a little too much and went to bed first, and his mother went to her house. As a result, no one is at home, except for the sleeping Tom. Ian meets his mother in the hallway and starts kissing her. At first, she resisted, but she cannot cope with passion. And that night they slept together. At the same time, Tom wants to drink water and he gets out of bed. And he sees his mom walking out of Ian's room with her jeans in her hands. He understands what they were doing there. Tom can't sleep and spends the whole night on the beach thinking. In the morning, on emotions, he goes to Lil, the mother of his friend. They drink morning coffee and he tries to kiss her, but she immediately resists. Tom tells her what he saw that night. She doesn't believe it, or rather she doesn't want to believe it. The next night, Tom also spends with her, not wanting to go to his house. They sleep in different rooms, but late at night he goes to bed with Lil. In the morning, their eyes meet. Passion appears between them and they begin to do the same as her son and his mother. Tom, to spite his mother, tells her where he was and what he did with her friend. She can't stand it and slaps him for his words. Realizing that this is not possible, mothers tell their children that it was a mistake. Ian does not want to listen to his mother and says that he loves her friend. He goes to Rose after all this, despite the words of his mother. And it happens again between them. Lil didn't keep her promise either. And she and Tom did the same. The next day, the four of them are back on the beach. A fight ensues between Ian and Tom in the water, but the moms separate them. Arriving home, they sit at the table and are silent, but their thoughts are visible in their eyes. They all disperse, Ian to Rose's room and Tom to Lil's. This way of life they keep, the son of each sleeps with her childhood friend. Then we are shown them, but after 2 years. Ian already works at the firm, and Tom is in the theater. Rose's husband left her, the distance made itself felt. He started a new family and had a child. In the theater where Tom works, he finds a girlfriend and they start dating. But he did not leave Lil, between them all the same feelings, despite the distance. Everything that was in the course of the last 2 years between them has been preserved. Rose and Lil realize that the years take their toll. They are not so young already and sooner or later they will have to stop sleeping with each son. In order not to drag it out to the last, they gather their children and tell them about it. Unlike Tom, Ian does not have a girlfriend, and he endures this gap the hardest. Then we are shown how Tom married the very girl from the theater and together they begin to build a family, forgetting about the past. At the same wedding, Ian meets a girl. Rose sees all this and pretends to be happy for him. But in fact, she still loves him and doesn't want to let him go so easily either. After the wedding, Yen goes to her house. But she does not open it to him, realizing that this can no longer continue. Emotional, in rainy weather, Ian goes surfing. The wave covers him and sucks him into the funnel. Because of what, he hits the reef and ends up in the hospital. The same girl he met at the wedding helps him get on his feet, and after a while he finds out that she is expecting a baby. Ian lives with her, but Rose cannot get out of her head, even holding her child in her arms. What happens next is 5 years later. Tom and Ian are married, each already has a child and a wife, and Lil and Rose cope with the role of grandmothers. The situation is repeating itself. They all have dinner together at the table and have a good time. But on the same night, Tom has sex with Lil and it all happens in front of Ian. He goes to Rose to tell them that they broke the promise they made to each other. This conversation is heard by their wives. Having learned the whole truth, they get into the car with the children and drive away from them. Rose and Lil are talking together. They are trying to understand how it turns out that they cannot live without each son. As a result, the film ends with everything becoming the same as it was 7 years ago. That's the whole retelling of the film Perfect Mothers, a film about two friends and their sons, who fall in love with each other's mothers. If you like this retelling, then do not forget to like this video and click on the subscribe button, and you can also watch other retellings on this channel.